Hey y'all, Bridget Bartlett here with My Vision Agency, and today I want to show you how you can create CSS using Manus for HighLevel. So there are some things that you want to create, like maybe this little, I don't know what you'd even call this little element here where it says 42 people viewing this page, and you see that it has this flashing green light. There's also this little banner here, and some of these things are nearly impossible to create with the existing elements within the HighLevel website or funnel builder. So I'm going to show you how you can use CSS to create some of these elements, even if you've never used CSS before. And we're going to use Manus to do this. Now, you could likely use any AI tool to do this. However, Manus has been giving me the best outputs since I've been using this. And so I just wanted to show you how to do this today. Now, I am actually starting with a brand new chat. I haven't told it anything about the CSS, and I wanted to walk you through that process because I know a lot of you are like, yeah, but how do we get it to create that? What do I do with it? So I wanted to walk you through that today. Now, I'm not an affiliate of Manus. There isn't even an affiliate link for Manus, but this is a good technique to help you speed past some of the roadblocks you might be having when building for yourself or a client. So here, I'm going to tell it to learn everything it needs to know about the HighLevel funnel builder and using CSS. So let's give it a prompt. All right, learn everything about the HighLevel funnel builder and the CSS capabilities so that you can help me create a website. Click enter. And remember, when you're talking to AI, it's just like you would a person. If you called a business or you were talking to your VA and you were trying to tell them the project that you had in mind, you would have to tell them all of these things. So talk to the AI like it is your assistant. So it's saying, I'll help you learn about the HighLevel funnel builder and its CSS capabilities so we can create a website together. Let me research this topic thoroughly and provide you with a comprehensive information. This may take a few minutes. So what it's doing is there's knowledge base suggestions here. It's actually recalled some of the knowledge base. So that is something I just learned about Manus, is that it is pulling in from my knowledge base, even in a different chat. So that's cool. Clarify the user requirements for regarding the HighLevel funnel builder. So what's the specific type of website that you are looking to create with HighLevel? Let's actually go into a demo account here and let's pull in, actually, let's go into another account. Let's pull in our reseller website. Click here and let's view the live view. All right, so I'm going to copy this link here. Let's take this back to Manus. And I'm going to say, I want to make this website more converting. And I want the call to action to be to join my free community. So the reason I'm choosing this is because I want to redo this website with a totally different call to action. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to see what it's actually going to create. Now I want to give it a CSS element to create. So let's go back here to the original website, and I'm just going to give it an idea, right? So I'm going to take my little snipping tool here. You can see my little snipping tool, and I'm actually just going to screenshot this and this over. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it into the website here. So you can see it's still working. It's still learning. It's reading and going through the website. You can see it's scrolling down here. I want to recreate this element with CSS. So of course, if you don't have a website, it's best to give it an idea, just like if you had a VA or if you were hiring a website agency to rebuild your website, you'd have to give them some visual ideas. So I'm going to go ahead and just say, I want to create this, and then click enter. So it actually suggested a new knowledge item, and you can see those are building up here, and I can click here and it'll say, when creating websites, do this. So we're basically training the AI with our actions here. We'll go ahead and accept all of these. Let's X out of that. So right now it's thinking, it's updating the plan. It's actually creating the element here. You can see create a social proof. People viewing this page element with CSS. It's viewing the image right now that I shared with it. Now you can see it's creating the file, it's editing the file, it's updating the plan. You can see that it's actually created the CSS, but it's editing the file here. Now it's creating the instructions here to integrate this with the HighLevel builder. Now it's creating integration instructions for adding the viewer counter component to the HighLevel funnel builder. Now, what's cool about this is you don't have to stay here while it's creating this. You can actually close your computer down. You can go off and do something else. You can download the mobile app and it will notify you if it has any questions or if there's a stumbling block in the process of creating it. Or you could just sit here and wait for it to be complete. You can see down here it's saying Manus is working. Modify the call to action to focus on joining the community. It's actually creating HTML structure and integration instructions for the community call to action button. I'm actually going to ask it for the CSS for the counter while it's building this HTML for the call to action. Give me the viewer counter CSS now. Okay, so now it spit that out because I asked for it now. But you can see here that it actually gave it to me in two different parts, which is standard for some builders. But in HighLevel, it works best and it's easier if we just have it in one. So actually what I want to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take this code. I'm going to pretend I know nothing about this process, and I'm going to take the code that it gave me and I'm going to go into the HighLevel funnel builder. I'm just going to choose a random page here. I'm going to go to the elements and I'm going to pull in the one that says code. You can see here. And I'm going to click here and open this up, and let's go ahead and paste that code it gave me. Save. And let's preview the code. And this is what it looks like. Obviously, that's not what we wanted, but that's okay. That's part of working with the AI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to screenshot this. And let's take it back to our conversation. And I'm going to share the screenshot and say, this doesn't work in the HighLevel code element. Please revise this so I can copy and paste into the element. So you see, I'm not using any big words here. I'm not really doing anything techy. I'm just telling it what I saw, what I experienced, and I'm saying, this is what I need to do. I just want to copy and paste it. Just make it that easy for me. I see the issue. The HighLevel code element requires a more streamlined format. Let me provide you with a simplified version so you can directly copy and paste it into the HighLevel code element. It's suggesting a new knowledge here in the chat, which we can approve up here. And that's just another instruction so that it knows the next time to give you exactly what you're looking for. So you can see it says test and validate the implementation of both the viewer counter and the community CTA components. So it created two CSS codes for both here, and it's updating both of them based on the instructions I gave it here. It says revising and testing the viewer counter code to ensure capability with HighLevel's code element. It's editing the file here. Okay, so it's given us a preview of the code, which that is what we looked for. So we're going to click here now, and you'll see the community integration. Let's look at the simplified counter HTML. It's still thinking here. Click here. I don't actually see the code in these files. Usually it'll say like HighLevel integration like this one does, but I don't see the one for the counter. Viewer counter, test implementation. Okay, I see it's showing the test there, but I don't see Where is the CSS for the viewer counter? This would definitely have been a lot more simplified if I didn't give it 2 instructions to help me update the copy of the website and create the CSS. So it says the CSS for the viewer counter is included directly in the code I provided with these style tags. Here's the CSS portion extracted for your reference. All right, so let's try this. I'm going to copy. Let's go back into the funnel builder here, and we're going to open up the editor, and I'm going to paste all of this in here and save. And we still get that. So let's copy this. Let's show it what we're looking at. I am still seeing this. And actually, let's say, forget the CTA info for now. Let's focus on the viewer counter only. Now, keep in mind, when you're working through this process, what we're actually doing is we're training the AI. We could do this with an employee, or we could do this with the AI. It's really the same process. But you do have to go through it, as painful as it is. And then the next time, just like your employee, the AI will understand exactly what you're looking for. And you can see here that it actually gave us the code again in 2 different spots. So it's saying, here's a simplified CSS only solution that should work in HighLevel's code element. And it says, and here's how to implement it. First, add the HTML element in HighLevel with the structure. So let's go ahead and just copy, just like it said. Let's go back here. We're going to override all that, save. All right, we still got that. So let's read the instructions. It says, first add the HTML element to the HighLevel. So let's go back and let's try this one and save. And it says, still people viewing this page. So I'm going to show it exactly what I'm seeing. And let's go back to Manus. I am still seeing this. Actually, it gave me some instructions here. Let's see. It should say implementation, HighLevel implementation. And it does not. So we're going to say, I'm still seeing this. Please review the instructions to make this simple to copy and paste into the HighLevel code element inside the builder. Let's copy this code that it gave us just for fun while it tweaks all of that. We'll go back here, go to the code element, save. Okay, and we're still seeing that. I hope you guys are getting some value from this. I know that this is a lot of back and forth. That's why I really wanted to go through this process with you and show you this doesn't have to be an intimidating process. It can actually be very simple. You just need to think about it as if this was a real person that you were talking to, that you hired to do a specific job. You would be doing that back and forth with them to say, actually, I was looking for this. Can you do this? And then they would say, yeah, and they'd have questions, and you go back and forth, because that's part of the process. Okay, so it's telling me here, I see the issue now. Looking at your screenshot, I can see that you've already added the text, 42 people viewing this page, and the HighLevel funnel builder. If you need CSS to style it properly, here's the CSS. All right, so it's giving me that. Let's go back here and let's override all this text again and paste. And I can already tell this isn't going to work. So let's do that again. And I'm going to screenshot this again. And we're going to copy this. And let's take it back. I am still only seeing the text and not the result I wanted. Please revise this so I can paste it into the box without issues. I understand your frustration. Let me provide the exact CSS code that should work in HighLevel's custom code without any issues. So let's copy all this. Oops. Let's go back here. I can already tell this isn't going to work as well. So, but let's try it so we can show it what we are seeing. Copy, come back here and paste here. Let's try something else. Let's open this up and let's show it what the actual element looks like here. Copy. And I am seeing this. This is the box I need to paste it in. Okay, it says, now I see exactly what you need. Thank you for the screenshot. I can see that HighLevel is using a code editor for custom JavaScript and HTML. It already has some CSS properties in there. Here's the exact code you should paste in the editor. You can replace all the existing code in that editor with this code if you want to keep the existing code and add to it. You can add these properties to what's already there. For the green dot effect, you would need to modify the text elements to include HTML for the dot. Since I can see that there is custom JavaScript editor, you could alternatively use this complete solution. So what I'm going to do is copy that. Let's go back here to the code editor. And we're going to paste all of this in. Looks like it's probably going to work. And it works! Yay! You can see now we have our CSS code there. I'm going to go ahead and save. Now, let's say that I wanted to change this here, and I wanted to say 32 days. You'll see if you scroll down here, there are some things that you can edit, or you could even ask ChatGPT. But usually if you scroll through, you'll find the text that's written here. So that says 42 people viewing this page, and you see here 42 people viewing this page. If I wanted to change this to say 38, I could just highlight the 42, change it to 38, save, and then now you'll see it says 38 people viewing this page. The problem is, though, is that little green dot is not flashing. I want to view it on the live page just to make sure. So let's preview this. And you'll see that we do have that CSS element there, but it's not flashing. So what I want to do is copy this. Let's take it back here and paste it in. I see the code is working now, but the green dot is not flashing. Okay, so Manus says, great, I'm glad to see the viewer counter is working with the green dot. To make the dot flash or pulse, we need to ensure the animation is properly implemented. Here's an updated version with a more reliable animation approach. So I'm going to copy that now. Let's go back into the builder. I'm going to click here, open up the code editor. We're just going to replace all of this text with the new text it gave us. Save. Let's save this. And let's refresh our page. And it is still not flashing. I had to look at that really close. It looked like it was almost pulsing. It is still not flashing. The message that it gave us when it gave us that code said, is the pulsing animation flashing? If it's not animating, I can provide a JavaScript. Okay, so that's what it did here. Let's go ahead and copy this. And let's go back, open up the editor to replace all of this text with the new code that it gave us. Save. Let's save this. Let's go back and refresh the page. And you can see now it is flashing here. Let's zoom in on this page a little bit so you can see it well. You can see here that it is flashing. If you wanted to make any adjustments to this, maybe the color or the text on here, like I said, it is easier probably than the back and forth. If you just go in here to the code, you can see there's a lot of code in here, but you don't have to be overwhelmed by this, right? You can see background color is this hex code. So if you wanted to change that hex code, you can to any color. You have the padding here. 8 by 15. If you wanted to adjust any of that, you could. And let's actually let's talk about that a little bit. Let's go into Canva. And I want to grab my brand colors. You guys know I love storing my brand colors in Canva. It makes it so easy to find things. So let's say that I wanted to change that to this hex code here. I'm going to copy and go back to the editor. And let's just override this color with this hex code. And let's change the padding. Instead of 8, we'll change it to 10. Let's change this to 20. We have the border radius here. Font family we could change. The box shadow. We have the pulsing dot. That's the style, the height, the width, the background color. You can see there's another hex code if we wanted to change that. The border radius. You have the text here that you could change. You could also change the font size. So don't get overwhelmed by all of these things here. If you go through the code, it starts making a little bit of sense. You may not know to add the, div style equals and all of this other stuff, but if you go through here, it's easy to pick out the types of things that you could easily change. I want to make sure to save those changes. I didn't save, so let's go ahead and put that in here. Let's scroll down now to save. Now you can see we updated that background color and it's orange now. So if we go save again, we want to preview that, we'll refresh the screen. And now you can see that background color has changed. You can also see it's a little bit bigger now because we changed the size. Now, if I wanted to come back now that I've trained it, I've told it everything that it needs to know about HighLevel and the CSS, let's actually choose a different element. Let's say that I want to create this part. I copy this and let's go back and let's say, great, that worked well. Now let's create this element using CSS. While it's doing that, let's go back into our website here, and I'm going to just add another code. Let's go down to the code, drag it in, and we'll click here, open up the editor. Okay, so you can see that it's created that. Let's look in the files that it gave us. Okay, so I don't see that it's added the file yet. It's asking how it looks. Do you want to make any adjustments? Looks great. What is the code? Okay, so it's giving us the HTML. Please use the same format, or let's say same structure as the previous CSS. The reason I said that is because it gave us the HTML. So if we go back here and we paste that in, let's see if that works. Okay, so it actually did work. I didn't even need to tell it that. It just looked a little weird, so I wanted to make sure. Let's decrease the zoom in here so you can see. So this is what it looks like. If we go back in the editor now, you can see that we can change the font and colors and all of that as well. Now, if you did want to change this element or this section here, let's go and choose like 2 columns. And you'll see if we drag these elements in here, that it does shrink down the actual size. And if we wanted to drag this, let's say under this here, we could adjust the padding still between these elements. If you wanted a quick way to come back in and edit the text, you could just do that here. You can see all of the text created. Okay, guys, hopefully you understand now how easy it is to use AI and create any type of CSS element that you want to. Simply screenshot it, share it with the AI, show it exactly what you're looking for. That's how you're going to get the best results. And like I said, once you have trained it on exactly what you're looking for, you can just come back into the same chat and say, okay, now create this. And this will move through very, very quickly your website building process. If you have any questions at all, feel free to go into our community. You can go to the dashboard here, click on community. You want to go to the events calendar, click on today's date. You can join me in open office hours. If you're in our free community, you can go to the events calendar there as well and join us in open office hours. If you are not a member of our free community or our reseller program, you can go to myvisionagency.com. You can click here to sign up for free if you want to sign up for your own HighLevel account. If you're a current HighLevel customer and you would like to sign up for our reseller program, you can choose this option here. This option option is for those of you who are not interested in reselling software, but you do want to use all of our tools in one place for your own business. You can also sign up for the free community here or book a private consultation with me there. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I will see you on open office hours. Go make your vision a reality.